Barry? Beaming or blooming? Beaming. You look like you look like a man that's about to leave cold, dark, damp, dreary England and head to the sunny side of the pond, where life is fun and taxes are low and mosquitoes are everywhere and hurricanes are all over the place and all of this type of stuff. And but we're very, very happy with it all here in Florida. So you look like a man that's excited to get some vitamin D into his body, that's for sure, without needing to go on a sunbed. Would that be about right? There you go. Good for you. Michelle, nice to see you. Heard all about you this week. Excited to see you next week at Orlando as well. Dr. Pauline is there somewhere. Nice to see you. Type into the chat. Tell me who you are, where you're from. Yeah, we're going to have a final Road to PPM call today. John Holly has just joined us as well. We've got people coming on Instagram on this camera. We've got people on LinkedIn on this camera. And we've got people on YouTube. And where else does this one go? This one goes somewhere else, which is pretty cool. So we are not just on Zoom, we're beaming across the internet. And I think I'm on my Facebook Live as well. Yeah, so somebody share my Facebook Live out. That would be cool. West Palm Beach in Florida. Have we got your ticket booked yet for PPM? Are we booked, Pauline? For PPM? Yes, good. John Holly, where are you from? Tell me, type into the chat. Where are you zooming in from right now? Give me a little sign. And everybody on Instagram and Facebook, just tell me. My team will talk to you in those chats as well. It's always nice to know where people are from. We're going to try and get people warmed up and just get you ready for PPM. Summerfield, North Carolina, Michelle. Yes, I've been hearing all about you this week, Michelle. I know all about you. I know all about you. I might not know the face at first, but I know the name. Which is great. I love it. What is the exact location of the event in Orlando? It is in SeaWorld. It's at SeaWorld, basically Renaissance SeaWorld. So if you know Orlando, it's kind of right in the middle of Universal and Disney, basically, right in the middle, 15-20 minutes from Orlando Airport, MCO. Renaissance Hotel at SeaWorld, basically, the big hotel that overlooks. If you ask for a room, you might be able to see Shamu doing dives on a night, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you literally step out of the hotel and you'll see SeaWorld, which is beautiful. Same hotel every year for the last 4 years. It's fantastic. Really is a wonderful venue for this type of get together, which is exactly what it is. We're excited. We've already passed 200 tickets. The name is the Renaissance. Do you want to type it into the chat, Barry? Renaissance, depending upon how you say it. Renaissance or Renaissance, I suppose, is another way to say it. Yeah, amazing. Just off the I-4. 15-20 minutes in an Uber from the airport. So looking forward to seeing you there. Any other questions I can help with before we get started today? So this will be, like I said, the final chapter in the road to PPM. We're over 200 strong now for the event, which is epic, biggest one we've ever done. I think we've got room for about another 10 more, 15 more maybe I did here this morning. So we will do our best to make sure that every seat is full. It's always a personal quest of mine to make sure that it is. So today's topic is future you versus current you. I thought this would be quite a cool one to talk through. And it's a good one to get you emotionally, kind of mentally ready for an event. Obviously, next week, we're going to talk about ads and filling up your clinic and getting your schedules full and systems to get you out of the treatment room and to make your business more viable. There's going to be a big breakdown of the difference between insurance and cash pay businesses and how those are built and why one's more profitable than the other and what we need to do to get your business to stand on its own 2 feet and pay you handsomely is the goal. But what needs to happen for that to happen is to often understand the bottleneck in all of our businesses, which is always the business owner. It's always me. If my business isn't growing, it's because of me. My view of life, my business skills, my mind strength or weakness, if you like, at the time. So I'm very big on helping entrepreneurs get very strong mentally so that they can make the tough decisions that they inevitably have to do to get their business to where they want it to be. There's 3 versions of you. Are you ready? You can start taking some notes. 3 versions of you. We've got the past you, right? The default path that people take. It's the version of you that keeps playing small, that tolerates the chaos, that settles for busy instead of building something bigger. That's the past us, right? That's, wherever we are in our journey, there's a version of us that keeps playing small, that tolerates the chaos, that tolerates the cash flow problems, that tolerates the entitlement mentality of certain team members. Instead of building something bigger, it settles for busy, activity-based, always wanting to do stuff squirrel-like, and excuse the analogy, but squirrels are busy, they're bouncing around, they're jumping around. I see them outside my house every morning. I wake up 7ish, watch the sun come up on the morning in my house, and the squirrels bouncing around in the woods and the ceiling of my house, on the roof, on the net, and they jump everywhere. There's no coordination to them, and that's kind of how business owners are. But if you don't make a change, what happens in the next 12 months? Well, you get the same stress, the same revenue, and essentially you're on the same treadmill. The question for you, and again, there's a little bit of teaching in this, reflection over the weekend: what pattern are you tired of repeating? Where you're stuck that feels like a deja vu moment? The reason I'm asking you that now, and it's lovely that you guys, Michelle and Pauline, are coming. John Lee, I don't know if you're coming at this point. I don't know anything about you. I don't know if you want to type into the chat and just tell me a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and I can help you. The piece here is quite an important question. What pattern are you tired of repeating? Where are you stuck that feels like a deja vu moment every month? That's the question I'd be asking myself on the plane next week. And if I'm flying to Orlando on Thursday or driving down, whatever you're doing, I'd want to know what's the pattern that I keep repeating, so that when I get to Orlando, I can look for a solution to that. Because if we don't break that pattern, I know exactly what money you're going to make in 2026. Exactly the same as this year. Unfortunately, behavior is the lead domino. If we want a successful business, it's the behavior ultimately that dictates everything. So where am I getting stuck? What thought processes am I getting stuck in all of the time? Do I not actually even believe that I can do it? Right? If you want my humble opinion, the majority of business owners are united by that one single thought, not 100% believing that they can actually do it. And the minute that they see an opportunity, they kind of dabble with it, and then they retreat. The old pattern comes back. I don't think this is good enough for me, or I'm not good enough for it, and I can't do this. But Paul, you don't realize I'm from North Carolina, and people from North Carolina don't do these types of things. And Paul, you don't realize I'm this age, and people my age don't do these things, Paul, and all of this shit that we all come out with, right? It's utter nonsense, all to be acknowledged because it's real, right? It's real because that's how we think. But ultimately, that's the patterns that we've got to start to break, because next weekend you could see, and you will see, some unbelievable success stories. And none of them are any good if we don't believe that we can actually go on and do it. So if I was you, I'd be wanting to know, what is the pattern? What is the thought loop? And then here's the bit that I would encourage you to do in the most nicest, humblest way I can say this. Have the humility to talk that out with somebody. A person that you're next to, or a coach of my team, somebody that you can just say, do you know what? Hands down, Luke, Barry, Chris, Emma, whoever else on my team, this is what's getting in the way for me. And I've been telling myself this for 10 years. And when we know that, it's almost like Alcoholics Anonymous for business owners. It's like, forgive me, right? My name's Paul. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I need to do something about it, right? And in this case, for business owners, it's my name's Paul. I'm a recovering disbeliever in myself, right? I perennially disbelieve in myself and what's possible for me. And I come up with all sorts of excuses about my economy and my town and my age and my skills and my patience and the shit that I had to go through with my parents. Paul, you don't realize, Paul, I had a harsh upbringing, and that's still to this day. I'm 87 and I'm still clinging to it, Paul. One day I'm going to get over this childhood trauma, right? Well, the Facebook ad that you're going to run next week doesn't give a shit about your childhood trauma, right? Like, let's just get on with it and make some money, right? And if we're going to have childhood trauma, let's just be rich with childhood trauma, right? That's what I came to the conclusion. If I'm going to have some shit in my past, I might as well have a big house to worry about it in, right? That's the way I look at it, right? At least I've got a pool to swim in, right? Got some childhood trauma, but like, there's a nice pool for me and my kids to swim in on a weekend. That kind of takes away a little bit of the shit, right? If you're just hearing me for the first time as well, you hopefully get to understand my humor as the weekend goes on next week. The current you, version number 2, the current you, this is the decision point. This is the version of you who's self-aware enough to know something has to change. That's when people come to our events. They get on calls with us, they come to our events, they get on the flight because they're self-aware enough to realize that something has to change. But decision without action is just delayed dressing up as planning, basically. It's delayed dressed up as planning. That's what most people are doing. They're dressing up delay as planning. I'm planning. I'm sorry, you're not. You're delaying. You're delaying because you do this every time. You come on a call and then you tell us, I'll have to think about it. And it's like, well, you told us that 3 months ago. I'm thinking about coming to PPM. Well, you told us that last year. Well, next year I'll come. You won't, and your problems will be exactly the same. So the version of you who's self-aware enough to know something has to change, that's when the itch becomes inevitable. You've got an itch and you need to find the scratch. You have been showing up to these sessions, you're in motion, you're moving now, you're obviously wanting to make some progress. However, motion isn't progress unless we do something with it. And that's what I'm going to try and separate you this weekend from. It's not just enough to be in the room or to make the decision. Great to be there. But what we want is not for you to be at PPM. We want you to have a successful business, and that's what we're about. What decision are you delaying that's keeping you exactly where you are? There's another question for you. So as you jump on that flight next week, or the car, however you're getting down, couple of questions for you to start asking. The first one is, what pattern are you tired of repeating? And what decision are you delaying that keeps you exactly where you are? The future you. So the current you is now conscious. The future you is now conscious. You're thinking about coming to PPM. You've booked your ticket. You're aware. You're awake to the idea that the business isn't sustainable. You want to do something about it. You're not happy with your current lifestyle or your choices or just how you feel about yourself. In all honesty, mine has always been about how I feel about myself. When I'm making progress in the business, I feel better about myself, and that's just an addiction I've trained over the years, and inevitably when I'm moving and I'm making progress, then the business grows. The business grows, it makes money. It isn't this all-out addiction to have more money. It's to feel better about myself, that I'm making progress, that I'm making use of the time that I've got here on earth, and that's what's always been important to me. So the version of you that runs a real business, this is the future you, the owner of a business, not somebody that's stuck in it, a cog in a wheel of it, the builder of the machine, if you like. So the future you is the version of you that runs a real business, not a job that you own. You've got to think differently, act more decisively. You've built the systems and support to buy back your time. That's the future you. That's the difference. This version of you in the future runs a real business, not the job that you quit to start a business that's now got you stuck. They think, or you think now, differently. You're acting more decisively, and you've built the systems and support to buy back your time. We shouldn't now be asking, should I go to events like PPM Live? You're already going to do it. You're already there. But you make decisions faster now because you know that success rewards speed. That's the future you. So we shouldn't be thinking about, should I make this decision? The future you knows that success rewards speed. So here's your final question in this little segment. What would future you thank you for doing this week? What would future you thank you for doing this week? Imagine it's October 2026. What's different? Are you making more money, working less, leading a team instead of chasing leads? Or did the past year pass in a blur and you're still right here telling yourself next year will be different? I'm going to go on a limb and say the only thing that makes 2026 different is probably what you're going to do this month. I look around the calendar, I don't see anybody else that's going to invite you to a conference or a thing that could potentially save your life. A 60-minute session on a webinar is not going to do anything. Total immersion into our world could. I'm not going to promise it, but it could if you let yourself get immersed into the world that we've got for you. The path that you choose this month, I think, could decide 2026. We do this at the end of the year. It's a good opportunity for everybody to reflect, and then we move into 2026 with optimism. This is the last thing I'm going to give you, and I think it's one of the most powerful things. I might even bring this back up at PPM. The identity shift exercise. Are you ready? So I want you to take a piece of paper, draw a column down the middle. On the left-hand side, put the title Current Me. On the right-hand side, put the column title Future Me. And in the Current Me column, I want you to put Reactive. And then in the Future Me column, on the same level, I want you to write Proactive. In the Current Me column, I want you to write Waiting. In the Future Me column, I want you to write Deciding. In the Current Me column, write down Confused. In the Future Me column, write down Clear. In the current me column, overwhelmed. Future me, structured. Current me column, alone. Future me, supported. Current me, hopeful. Future me, strategic. Now take a look at those columns. Take a look on the left and take a look on the right. The left is where most business owners stay all of their life. Reactive, waiting, confused, overwhelmed, alone, hopeful. Always hoping things that are going to turn out right. That hope very quickly turns to frustration and regret and anger. Now look at the right-hand side, the future you column. Proactive, making decisions, clear, structured, supported, and strategic. Your number one job is to close the gap between the two columns. PPM Live is where it will begin. Thoughts, questions? Happy to answer anybody's questions. I'm giving you 2 or 3 really big, powerful questions to think about before you get to the event that I think will help you get the best out of it. What pattern are you tired of repeating? What decision are you delaying that's keeping you exactly where you are? And what would future you thank you for doing this week? Look at the 2 columns that you've written and then consider that your job is to close the gap between the 2. That's where 99% of business owners are on the left. What I think most people want is to be on the right. They want to be proactive, not reactive to things going wrong all of the time. They want to make decisions rather than being stuck in procrastination. They want to be clear rather than confused. I want to know where I'm going. I don't have to know exactly what the path is and what the steps are, but I just need to know where I'm headed and what type of life I want, type of business I want, and the decisions I need to make. Overwhelmed. I've got 1,000 things to do. I don't know where to start, Paul. Okay, let's get some structure into your life. Let's help you understand the difference between tasks and high leverage and things that are going to pay off over the long run, not just constantly keeping the house in order or house up in some cases. They are alone and they want to be supported. They want to be part of a community. They want a coach to talk it out. They want to feel as though they could message somebody and ask a question and get a good, honest answer, not an emotional, supportive, protective answer, an honest answer as to what is required for the business. They want to be part of a community where people have got a shared mission and a shared purpose to build a real business and help families and give back time to their kids. Instead of being hopeful that 2026 is going to be a good year, they want a more strategic conversation about what they need to do. Do I need to run workshops, or am I needing to improve my grassroots marketing? Do I need to improve the way I answer the phone? Do I need to hire somebody? Do I need to step out of 1 or 2 insurance companies that are holding me back? These are the things that people want. That's more of a strategic decision. Instead of perennially hopeful, I can swap that with 3 or 4 strategic decisions in my business in 2026. As long as I'm supported and I'm making decisions and I'm clear and I've got a little bit of structure, I'm likely to have a significantly better 2026 than 2025. So there's my little thoughts for you today that hopefully sends you into PPM ready and eager and excited and showing up like you want to be the CEO of a mega company, or we'll just settle for the CEO of your life. How about that? How cool would it be just to feel like we're the CEO of our life, right? Most people would start there, that we're actually in charge and we can make our own decisions. And I think that's a good place to think about it. What I'm really going to do is learn how to be the CEO of my life, not just of a business. That's what business has done for me. It's helped me be a lot more strategic in my decision making, clearer, more present with my kids. I understand things differently. I see people differently. I see life differently as people get caught up in emotion and drama. If it wasn't for business, I would never have got in a personal growth story. I'd have never got in a personal development journey. I would have been a good physio, but I suspect I'd have had a lot of chaos going on around me because I would never have had the opportunity, or I would never have got on that path to go learn how to be a stronger Paul, a better Paul, that ultimately inevitably allowed me to build much better businesses. So So there we go. That's my story. Any thoughts, questions, anything I can do to help, type into the chat. Or you can come on live. More than happy to help. Tania, hello, nice to see you. Thank you for your friends referral. We had 2 people actually join our community this week from North Carolina. Michelle was one. And I know Tania referred somebody this week that she went to college with, who's from North Carolina also, somewhere in that beautiful state, which is good, which is cool. And that's why I was talking about you, Michelle, because we had 2 people from North Carolina this week join, which was cool. And one of them was referred from Tania, who's a long time member in the program, been with us for 5 or 6 years. She likes to come to the mainland to shop. She likes my events as a good excuse to come and get some duty free. I was talking to a guy this week who he's from Bermuda, Croft Castrell. I don't know if you've met him yet, Tania. Croft is in the group. I think he's at PPM next week as well. And he was telling me about the import tax that you all have to pay when you go back there. And I said, well, what do you do to get around that? And he said, well, it's easy, Paul. He says, you just put all the clothes on that you've worn, or that you've bought, or you walk through on the plane with the handbag, and you got to make it look like it's the handbag that you left with, if you like. So everybody on those flights, I imagine, has got what, five layers of Gucci clothing on, six handbags, one for the phone, one for the keys, one for the makeup. Is that kind of how it goes? Yeah. Which I thought was. Yeah. It looked like, do you remember, what was that movie? Forgive me. Eddie Murphy, where he goes to Queens and he wears all his clothes and he's got like 17 of his clothes on because he thinks he's going to get pinched, and he's got like 17 layers of his hats and his watches and all of these things because he thinks they're going to get pinched. He's the prince, isn't he, from like some African nation. He's the prince coming to America. It's the funniest scene in the world. He lands and he's like, all of his clothes are getting pinched, so he starts wearing them all, and he's got like every single possible pair of glasses on, bags and everything, because they're getting, I imagine that's like the Southwest flight back to Bermuda from Charlotte. Oh yeah, we're off to Bermuda. Everybody's all of a sudden got 16 layers of clothes on and 19 handbags. Yeah. Is it cold back there in Bermuda? Just wondering why you're all wearing the layers. Yeah. They all arrived in Charlotte with nothing on and went back to Bermuda with all these layers. She's mastered it. Yeah, you should do a workshop on that. Yeah, for the people of Bermuda. Yeah, let's teach them some real skills, some money saving skills. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, Croft is fantastic. He's cool. I think he's there next week. He's a wonderful guy. I think his story was Texas. He left Bermuda to go to Texas, to go to Dallas, I think it was, and then from Dallas he made his way to California. He's up in just outside of the Bay. He's just outside of the Bay right now, which is cool. So, all right, VJ, nice to see you just joined us. We're just about to wrap up. For those of you who haven't, I know you guys are coming, Tania, Michelle, Pauline. I know we'll see you next week. We're very excited for that. VJ, if you need anything about the event, happy to help you. We've got a code if you want to use it for the event, which is part of the Road to PPM's plan, if you like, strategy. So if you want it, reach out to Barry. We can drop it in to the chat and let you know exactly what it is. The price is going up tonight, I believe, and closes officially on Sunday. So please make your decision very, very quickly if you are coming to our event next weekend. Barry, I'll leave you to talk to VJ if he needs anything. But thank you for showing up today. We'll get this replay out to everybody. We're excited to see you next week. You guys, you've got 3 big, powerful questions there to think through between now and next week. And stare at that identity column, the identity shift column. It's a big one for you to think through. That's where business owners are, and that's where most of them stay stuck, and that's why they don't make progress. Your job is to close that gap. We'll help you start next week at PPM, and very excited to see you. Michelle, looking forward to meeting you in person and having some fun. Dr. Pauline, thank you as well. We're looking forward to seeing you. Tania, as always, can't wait to see you next week. And VJ, hopefully, I'm not sure if you're coming, but if not, talk to Barry and we'll help you get that the decision one. I missed one question about the decision. Let me find it on my little notes here for you. I'll go through all 3 of them again. What pattern are you tired of repeating? Where are you stuck that feels like deja vu every month? What decision are you delaying that keeps you exactly where you are? And number 3, what would the future you thank you for doing this week? There were your 3 questions. That's what I would, if I was you, I'd be thinking about next week before I get there, because that's the progress that we need to make. All of the strategies and tactics are going to be there for you, but that's the bit that needs unlocking. There's a coaching zone there as well at the weekend. Find Luke, find Barry, and you can schedule a one-on-one while you're there in person. Usually pretty effective when you get to talk to people in person. Feel free to do it in a coffee shop, at the bar, for breakfast, wherever you want with any of my staff. They're yours all weekend. They've all got IV drips. If you see people walking around with a metal thing on wheels, it's the IV that in Vegas they pump in pure oxygen. We have our staff hooked up to caffeinated IV drips all weekend, so we will be playing full out for you, 4 full days. We're excited for it, and you might not see us for about 2 days after, but you'll get every piece of us for 4 days across the weekend. So yeah, feel free to talk to the team. You can book a time whenever you want across the weekend. We've got the CEO Rehab Lounge as well. We've got masseuses coming in for you on the weekend. We've got everything. Casino night on Thursday. We've got masseuses across the weekend. What else have we got? We've got free beverages for you, alcoholic, as well across the weekend. Lots of fun, celebrity speaker, all sorts of cool stuff. There's yoga going on at 7 every morning. There's a run starts at 7 as well each day, led by one of our members. So all in all, lots of fun stuff. It's more than just a seminar. It's a cliche, but there's a lot of community to this as well. We've been doing this for nearly a decade now. So lots of very, very wonderful, good, honest, decent people will be at that event, and they'll make it very special for you if it's your first time, my staff included. So, all right, I'm going to jump off. Will we get a schedule? Michelle, you get the schedule when I get the schedule. See all of this stuff over here, which says like chaos and unstructured and all that shit, right? Well, I haven't quite mastered it yet, Michelle, right? Do as I say, don't do as I do is usually what I preach from stage. But I do have it. It's almost ready. You'll get a full agenda. The letter depends when you sign. There'll be a letter gone out. I'll make sure you get it. Barry, could you make sure that she gets at least the PDF of the schedule that we sent out to the members last week? The event starts at 9 on the Friday, correct? But there is breakfast for you at 8, Pauline. So I'll make sure that you're aware of that. Luke will probably be trying to reach you anyway in the next few days. For everybody, the event starts at 9 on the Friday. Breakfast for our guests at 8. We have full buffet on for you. Come on in, and we do that on purpose, so that you guys can say hello, feel comfortable. We appreciate sometimes walking into a big room is a bit uncomfortable and it takes you a few hours to get to know everybody or feel comfortable. We try and do that at 8 o'clock. We'll bring some members in. You can say hello, you can talk. All my staff will be there, and they'll make a fuss of you. So 8 o'clock, breakfast is fully laid out, coffee, everything, smaller room on purpose so that you can just go say hello and feel comfortable. And then obviously the day starts to get bigger as it goes on, if you like. So 8 o'clock for breakfast, 9 o'clock for the doors opening in the main room. Everything at 9:30 comes with a slight politically sensitive warning. We have an opening ceremony, which I think Saturday night, what is it called? Saturday Night Live. We often start with a little skit. So again, if you're politically sensitive, we advise people to stay out till at least 9:50. And if you arrive and you are politically triggered by my things, then you don't say I didn't warn you. Is what I say. So that usually gets everybody off to a good start. We divide the room very, very early. If you're on the left, sit here, and if you're on the right, it's like the wedding. Are you for the bride or are you for the groom? Go left, go right. It's but all in good spirits. All in good spirits. And then we go right through till 6 on Friday. Party, 80s themed cafe. 80s party starts at 7:30. Loads of fun, DJ, music. Feel free to dress up. Halloween kind of theme. People will be in all sorts of costumes, and then we start again at 9 o'clock the next morning. So it's pretty much the same all weekend. Long but fun. Loads of good stuff happening. But I'll get that agenda to both of you in the next hour. I'll get either Barry will send it out or Jessica can send it through a personal email. That'd be good. All right. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you next week. Appreciate you. We'll get the replay out. Thanks very, very much. Tanay, I'll see you next week. Thank you for that referral this week. We appreciate you. VJ, hope to see you next week. And Dr. Pauline, we'll see you next week as well. Barry, I'll see you on Tuesday on the sunnier side of the pond. See you soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.